Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm just going to share with you really quickly what I read in the month of September. Yep, September, because now we're in October. I did talk about two of the books that I read already, which were The Sixth Extinction by Elizabeth Kolbert and The Tiger, A True Story of Vengeance and Survival by John Valiant. And I can just link that video below. Those were some nonfiction books that I read toward the beginning of September that I really enjoyed and just kind of made their own video about them, and I talk a lot about them. And just so you know, I really enjoyed both of them and do recommend them, especially The Tiger. Wow, that one was intense. I really, really enjoyed that one. Now, my other two books. I only read 4 books in September, which kind of surprised me because I felt like I was doing a lot of reading. But maybe I was just spending more time on these books. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but that's totally okay. What I did read, I really enjoyed. Now, the next book that I read in the month of September was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. And this was a read aloud for my kids as well as for myself because we listened to most of it. No, actually we listened to all of it on audiobook. And this was kind of part of their homeschool reading, and this was like our morning read aloud, and then it became our car read aloud, and it just became just anytime we had time, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was happening, and we read this way ahead of schedule. My kids loved this book, and I did too. I did completely too. What I guess surprised me about it was how close it was to the original movie. A lot of the same details and a lot of the same kind of like the character of Willy Wonka himself really came through in the book, and both versions of the movie Willy Wonka, I felt like they did a really good job of portraying the character in this book. So both movies and the book, like, it's just one big glorious package. I have no complaints about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, if that means anything to anyone, because my kids just begged for this book. And when you have kids begging for a book, you know it's pretty darn good. So we really, really enjoyed this. Now, the next book that I read was Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. And this was a random, no, not random, sort of random. I hadn't planned to pick this up from the library, but when I saw the title, it rung a bell because I remember seeing it on BookTube several times and people talking about it. So I picked it up solely because of BookTube, not with no expectations whatsoever, whether I would like it or not. And I ended up reading this very quickly. I think I read it in like 2 or 3 days' time. I was reading it whenever I could, and then by the end I was a complete mess. And I don't know if it was just my emotional state at the time, or it was the book, or it was a combination of both, because I finished this book on my husband's and our anniversary. So we were, you know, my mind was in a lovey-dovey place, and then I was finishing this book, and I canceled homeschool that day because I couldn't stop crying, and because I ended up with a huge, like, cry headache, and my eyes were hurting, and it was just awful. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. And what it was about was a girl, a woman in her 20s who is kind of leading sort of a stagnant life. She's kind of running in place, just doing same old, not really, you know, with no plans to broaden her horizons at all. And she ends up taking a job taking care of a quadriplegic man. And this man was very adventurous. Prior to becoming quadriplegic, he was a high-powered businessman type, and he went on all sorts of adventures. He traveled the world, and then he got in an accident and became, very bitter and stuck in his wheelchair. And so they are kind of thrown together at first in a working type relationship. And throughout the book, he really manages to bring her out of herself, of her stagnant place of being that she's currently in, and really shows her how to live her life, even though, he's now quadriplegic. He's in a wheelchair. He can't do anything without help. I think he only had movement in one of his hands or something and was paralyzed from here down. So he could do nothing, but somehow manages to show her throughout the book how to live her life adventurously and fully, and it was just really good. It was really good. It totally caught me by surprise. I did not expect to enjoy the book this much, but I did. I loved it. So that's it, guys. That's apparently all I read in the month of September. Again, kind of surprised because I felt like I read a lot more, but it's not about the number. It's not about the number at all. And the quality of the books I read were all really good, so I cannot complain at all about that. What did you guys read this month? And have you read any of the books that I have? And what did you think of them? And so, yeah, now we're in October, and let me know what you're reading this month. I still haven't quite decided my goals yet for the month of October, but whatever. I've been flying by the seat of my pants lately anyways. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all again soon.